there is a moment that almost every high-altitude climber describes. It happens somewhere above 15,000 feet, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, depending on the person and the mountain and the day. The air is thin. Your legs are heavy in a way that has nothing to do with fitness. Each step requires a concentration and an effort that, at sea level, would seem almost comical. And then you stop, you turn around, and the world below you, the valleys, the forests, the rivers, the towns, has become so small, so impossibly far away, that it no longer feels quite real. And in that moment, with the wind against your face, and the sky closer and bluer than you have ever seen it, you understand why people climb mountains. Not because it is easy, precisely because it is not. Today, we are going to take you inside the world of high-altitude mountain adventure. What it takes, what it demands, what it gives back, and how to experience it safely and unforgettably. Let's begin with the most important thing, understanding what high altitude actually does to the human body. Most people know that the air gets thinner as you gain elevation, but what that means in practice, what it actually feels like, and what it actually does, is something that surprises almost everyone who experiences it for the first time. At sea level, the air contains approximately 21% oxygen. At 15,000 feet, that percentage is the same, but the atmospheric pressure is so much lower that each breath delivers significantly less oxygen to your lungs. Your body responds to this by breathing faster and deeper, by increasing your heart rate, and by gradually producing more red blood cells to carry the reduced oxygen more efficiently. This process, acclimatization, takes time. And the most important rule of high-altitude adventure is this: you cannot rush acclimatization. The mountain will always win that argument. Altitude sickness, the collection of symptoms that occurs when you ascend too quickly, ranges from uncomfortable to dangerous. The mild form, headache, fatigue, loss of appetite, difficulty sleeping, affects most people who ascend above 8,000 feet too rapidly. The more serious forms, high-altitude pulmonary edema, where fluid accumulates in the lungs, and high-altitude cerebral edema, where fluid accumulates in the brain, are medical emergencies that can be fatal if not treated immediately. The treatment for both is the same: descend immediately, without hesitation. No view, no summit, no personal goal is worth your life. And experienced mountain guides and climbers will tell you this without qualification. The mountain will always be there. You need to be there too, to come back. The golden rule of acclimatization is climb high, sleep low. Spend your days gaining elevation, hiking to higher camps, exploring higher terrain, and return to lower elevations to sleep. This gives your body the stimulus to adapt while allowing you to recover at a pressure your system can handle. Most serious high-altitude expeditions build in multiple acclimatization rotations before the final summit push, going up, coming down, going up higher, coming down again, in a pattern that seems slow and frustrating, but that is the difference between a successful summit and a dangerous situation. Now let's talk about the equipment, because what you carry on a high-altitude mountain can be the difference between an extraordinary adventure and a life-threatening emergency. Layering is the foundation of mountain clothing. The principle is simple: multiple thin layers that can be added or removed as conditions change. But the execution requires careful thought. The base layer, worn directly against your skin, should be a moisture-wicking material, merino wool or synthetic, that pulls sweat away from your body and keeps you dry. A wet base layer in cold conditions will drain your body heat with frightening speed. The mid-layer, fleece or down, provides insulation, and the outer layer, a waterproof, windproof shell, protects against the elements. At high altitude, conditions can change with extraordinary speed. A clear morning can become a blizzard within hours. The ability to adapt your clothing to those changes quickly and efficiently is not a comfort issue. It is a safety issue. Footwear at high altitude requires equally serious thought. At elevations above the snowline, insulated mountaineering boots, specifically designed to work with crampons, are essential. Crampons are metal frameworks with sharp spikes that attach to your boots and provide traction on ice and hard-packed snow. Without them, movement on icy terrain is not just difficult, it is dangerous. An ice axe, a tool with a pick and an adze and a spike, provides stability on steep terrain and, crucially, the ability to arrest a fall. Learning to use an ice axe properly, particularly the self-arrest technique, where you drive the pick into the snow to stop yourself from sliding, is a fundamental skill for anyone venturing onto high-altitude glaciated terrain. Navigation at altitude requires skills and tools beyond those needed at lower elevations. A GPS device, a topographic map, and a compass are essential, not optional. In whiteout conditions, when visibility drops to a few meters, and the wind makes it impossible to hear your companions. The ability to navigate by instrument rather than by sight can be the difference between finding your camp and becoming dangerously lost. Weather forecasting is equally important. Understanding the signs of changing weather, knowing when to turn back, having the discipline to abandon a summit attempt when conditions deteriorate. These are skills that take experience to develop and that experience guides and local knowledge can help provide. Let's talk now about some of the world's most extraordinary high-altitude destinations, the mountains and ranges that draw adventurers from every corner of the earth. The Himalayas of Nepal and Tibet are the highest mountain range on Earth, home to 8 of the world's 14 peaks above 8,000 meters, including Everest, Lhotse, Makalu, and Choeu. But the Himalayas offer high-altitude adventure at every level of experience and ambition. The Annapurna Circuit, a classic trekking route that circles the Annapurna Massif through valleys and passes of extraordinary beauty, reaches its highest point at the Thorong La Pass, at 5,416 meters. It is one of the most spectacular high-altitude treks in the world, crossing landscapes of extraordinary variety, from subtropical forest at lower elevations to the high desert of the Mustang Plateau above the tree line, and it is accessible to fit well-prepared trekkers without technical climbing experience. The Everest Base Camp Trek, one of the most famous walks in the world, follows the Khumbu Valley to the foot of the world's highest mountain, reaching an elevation of 5,364 meters. The trek itself does not require technical climbing skills, but it does require excellent fitness, careful acclimatization, and a respect for the altitude that many first-time trekkers underestimate. The views along the route of Everest, Lhotse, Nups, Amadabal, and dozens of other extraordinary peaks are among the most spectacular mountain scenery available anywhere on Earth. And the Sherpa communities of the Khumbu Valley, with their extraordinary culture, their remarkable physical adaptation to altitude, and their generational knowledge of these mountains, add a human dimension to the trek that is as extraordinary as the scenery. From the Himalayas, let's travel to the Andes of South America, a mountain range of extraordinary scale and variety that offers high-altitude adventure from Colombia in the north to Patagonia in the south. The most accessible high-altitude experience in the Andes is also one of the most extraordinary, the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu in Peru. The Inca Trail is a 4-day trek along ancient pathways, built by the Inca civilization more than 500 years ago, pathways that wind through cloud forest and alpine grassland, and over passes of extraordinary beauty, culminating in the Sun Gate, Inti Punku, where the ancient citadel of Machu Picchu is revealed below you, in the early morning mist. The highest point on the classic route, Dead Woman's Pass, reaches 4,215 meters. The combination of altitude, ancient history, extraordinary archaeology, and stunning natural beauty makes the Inca Trail one of the most complete and most rewarding multi-day trekking experiences available anywhere in the world. Further south in the Andes, the Patagonia region of Chile and Argentina offers high-altitude adventure in a landscape of extraordinary and dramatic beauty. Torres del Paine National Park, with its iconic granite towers rising over 2,800 meters from the Patagonian steppe, is home to the W Trek and the O Circuit, multi-day routes through a landscape of glaciers and lakes and forests and mountains of such consistent and overwhelming beauty that it has been called one of the great trekking destinations on Earth. From South America, let's travel to East Africa, to a mountain that offers one of the most extraordinary high-altitude experiences in the world, precisely because it is accessible to almost anyone who is fit and well prepared. Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa, rising to 5,895 meters above sea level, and it is one of the very few peaks of this elevation that can be reached without technical climbing equipment. The standard routes are long hikes, demanding, exhausting, requiring careful acclimatization, but they do not require ropes, or crampons or technical skills. The mountain rises through 5 distinct ecological zones, from the cultivated farmland and forest at its base through cloud forest and alpine moorland, and the extraordinary high-altitude desert of the crater rim to the permanent ice and snow of the summit. Each zone is completely different from the last, and the summit, Uluru Peak, offers a view of the African continent, stretching to every horizon that is, by any measure, one of the most extraordinary views available from any mountain on Earth. The key to Kilimanjaro, as with all high-altitude adventures, is the pace. Pole pole, Swahili for slowly slowly, is the mantra of every experienced Kilimanjaro guide. The mountain is not a race. The summit is not a prize to be seized by speed. It is an experience to be earned by patience and respect for the altitude, and respect for your own body. The trekkers who succeed on Kilimanjaro are not necessarily the fittest, They are the ones who understand that the mountain operates on its own schedule, and that the only way to reach the summit is to accept that schedule completely. And finally, let's talk about something that applies to every high-altitude adventure in every mountain range in the world: the importance of local knowledge and experienced guides. No map, no GPS device, no amount of preparation can substitute for the knowledge of someone who has lived with these mountains, who has guided others through them, across seasons and years, who knows the weather patterns and the danger zones, and the shortcuts and the places where the trail disappears under snow. Local guides are not a luxury on high-altitude expeditions. They are a fundamental safety resource. They carry with them a knowledge of the mountain that is specific, practical, and earned, knowledge that has been developed over generations and that no amount of research can fully replicate. They are also, almost universally, extraordinary people. People whose relationship with these landscapes, with the Himalayas, the Andes, the African peaks, is one of the deepest and most intimate imaginable. People who love these mountains in a way that is completely different from the traveler who visits once, who have watched them across every season, who know their moods and their dangers, and their extraordinary rewards with a familiarity that is only possible through a lifetime of presence. Hiring a local guide is not just about safety, it is about encountering the mountain through the eyes of someone who truly knows it. And that encounter, on top of everything else that high-altitude adventure offers, is something genuinely irreplaceable. The mountains are extraordinary. They ask a great deal of the people who enter them: fitness, preparation, patience, humility, and a willingness to turn back when the mountain says no. But what they give back, the views, the silence, the physical and mental challenge, the particular clarity that only altitude, and effort and open sky can produce, is unlike anything available in the ordinary world below. Go high, go carefully, go with respect, and the mountains will give you something you will carry for the rest of your life.